Uff, mamma mia, guys. Che culo. Che culo, ragazzi. That's how the Italians would describe today's win for Inter. Che culo literally translates to what a bum or what an ass in English, but in Italian is a saying that means you got lucky. You were very, very lucky. And into today, we got very, very lucky. Last minute or last few minutes, own goal by Frese to save Inter's ass. It was 1-1. And if the match finished 1-1, honestly, yes, I know we had more XG and all that kind of stuff, but it was not a good performance. I would have not been too angry at the result if it ended as 1-1 because Hellas Verona defended very well. They did very well. They disrupted us very well. But Inter were pretty turgid. And if you want a little background scene of, the Uncle Sharma channel, this is how I make my thumbnails in Canva. It's an online software called Canva. Initially, obviously, I had 1-1 here, and my thumbnail or the title of the thumbnail was going to be, Where is Lautaro? Where is Lautaro? Because today, once again, I have been worried about Lautaro's recent performances, even in the Union Saint-Gilloise game. I know he scored, but today I felt like he was very much a non-factor. Apart from when he almost scored with that lob that their defender Nelson saved on the line very well. But apart from that, very, very another disappointing game from Lautaro. Boni, this was probably his most disappointing game since till now that he's been at Inter. Pretty much a non-factor as well. Luis Enrique brought in surprise starter today against Hellas Verona. Had one nice moment where he crossed it to Bastoni, but apart from that, he was a non-factor. Zielinski much better, but overall, guys, not a good performance. But this is the sign of champions, right? Or these are the things where we can start to see, like, regardless of the performance, regardless of what the opponent's doing, regardless of the rain, whatever excuses might be, bit of luck sometimes shows that this team can win ugly. And Fratesi as well coming on. It was not Fratesi who scored. And I don't think he did even get involved in, like, did he even have a pass? He had one pass and that's it. Yeah, then he had one shot from the corner. But he was the one that missed the header that caused the defender to head it into his own goal. So Fratesi, even though this is not his goal, it's almost like a Fratesi goal. And remember he scored that super, super late goal against Hellas Verona in the Scudetto winning season as well. Maybe that's a little omen. But yeah, today, overall, not a good performance. But of course, we will take this win, right, guys? With Napoli dropping points, hopefully Milan and Roma tonight, both of them drop points with a draw. Juve won, Spalletti's first win. So it was super key that whatever the result today, whatever the performance, that the result was only a win. Whilst you're here, by the way, make sure you leave a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. My prediction, you guys remember if you watched my match preview, was like 3-0, 3-1, and it looked like it was going to be something like that. We started off the game really well, really, really well. First few minutes, Zielinski got a shot on goal from a very difficult position with his left foot, and he looked like, oh, today Zielinski's turning up. He looked nice in the first few minutes. Lautaro, as I said, almost scored. If he scored this, I would have given him a lot of credit because you can see Montipo, their goalkeeper's there. He manages to get in front of him. Maybe he gets too much elevation, which ends up helping the defender get to the ball. But good start from Inter. I was like, first 15, 20 minutes, I like it. I like this Inter, the way we've come out. And then what a goal by Piotr Zielinski, guys. What a goal. Finally, a non-penalty goal by Piotr Zielinski at Inter. He's only scored those two penalties, if I remember correctly, the ones against Juve. But what a goal to score to break the deadlock. Hakan, credit to him as well. The funny thing is, I don't know if you guys were the same. The angle was showing. I was thinking, like, why is there no one on the edge of the box? Like, I wish Hakan, I'm not making this up. I was like, there's so much space at the other edge of the box. Surely we should try sometimes to, like, float it to the edge of the box and just, like, hit it on the volley. And Hakan literally did that. He just floated it, lovely float and weight of pass to Zielinski. But Zielinski, wow, look at the technique on that. The way, like they say, coaches, keep your head over the ball, the body shape straight, no leaning back. Side foot as well. He didn't try to smash it. The ball's already got some power on it. Just guided it into the top corner. no chance for Montipo. But then after the goal, Inter started to, it's okay, to try to control the game, slow the tempo down. That's fine. But then we slowed it down way too much. We started playing around at the back. And then when the issue was, as I said, the non-factor of Boni and Lautaro today, if once Inter started then putting those direct balls into the forwards like Kivu likes to do, these two just weren't holding it. They got dominated by Nelson, Bella Kotchap, Frese. Whenever there was duels, aerial duels into these guys, they weren't holding the ball, or the touch was off. Really poor performance by the two strikers today. Disappointed in both of them. Even Pio, when he came on, to be honest, I was disappointed all around. We really, really need Marcus Thuram back as soon as possible. But yeah, all that helped Hellas Verona get back into the game. And of course, it had to be Giovanni Nascimento, the guy that I picked at the beginning of the season as one of the players to watch. You can tell, guys, this guy is super talented, super talented, very chaotic player. Look at that, lost the most duels, but he just keeps on going, right? And then for the goal, he dribbled past Bastoni way too easily. But because he's left-footed, Bastoni probably thought he could show him to his right foot, no issue. But Giovanni hit a thunder crack. But once again, Jan Sommer, could he have done more on the goal? Yes, it was in the corner, but he actually got fingertips to it, and was it Butterfingers once again, Jan Sommer? Those comparisons to Handanovic keep happening this season. He's just not giving us the vibes of a super reliable goalkeeper that's going to take us to the Scudetto. It's those Handanovic vibes that we keep getting from Jan Sommer. We know that Jose Martinez recently went through a bit of an ordeal personally, so we probably, I don't know if he's ready. He was there on the bench today. I saw him, but he's probably not ready to step in. But we need something there to kind of challenge Jan Sommer properly, because he's not giving me those super confident vibes. I'm glad that at least Kivu continued with Jan Bisek in the middle, the centre back position. I think he did okay again today. I think for the goal, everyone was a bit passive. Where was the midfield when the ball went into Gift Orban? It reminded me of the goal that Udinese scored against us. If you remember the Artur Atta goal, the long ball goes into the strikers. That time it was a Cherby. This time, it was a Bisek, but someone, you either win that duel, or it needs to be the midfielder stepping in front. So Hakan, Zielinski, or Sucic. I need to go back and rewatch that goal. There's definitely some blame to go all around for that goal. But yeah, after that goal, the whole team dropped off. Zielinski dropped off. He was subbed off for Barella. But honestly, no one really made an impact as the substitutes. Frattesi made an impact. He basically scored the goal, even though he didn't score the goal. He is the Hellas Verona guy. Remember, he's the one that scored that goal in the Scudetto winning season that clinched us almost. That's the goal that kind of made us believe that we were going to win the Scudetto. Here today with this chaos made the difference. Di Marco was better than Carlos Augusto. I think Carlos Augusto's crossing today was off. I don't really think Barella made too much of a difference, even though he's got a high rating here. Neither did Dumfries. I know that Luis Enrique was disappointing, but did Dumfries really make a difference? Not really. And I hope Luis Enrique gets to start back-to-back against Kairat as well in the Champions League in the next game, although he made basically no impact here. But yeah, honestly, not a great game, not a great watch, but it's one of those performances where, yeah, performance might not be great, but it is what it is, man. After Napoli drop points, after Juve win, you just need to keep the pace. But I think Frattesi should have been brought on early, especially when you need a goal. I feel like Frattesi should be brought on. If you need a goal, Frattesi is the guy to bring on. Yes, you might lose control of the midfield. Yes, you might have one less guy in midfield, basically. But against Hellas Verona, you have to win, however it takes. You gotta win. Even as a striker, to be honest, I would have brought him on as a striker, taken Lautaro off. But I think that this is where Kivu at the moment. So he's got a few big decisions to make. Lautaro at the moment, he's not really performing. If his name was Pio Esposito or Boni, or he was a guy coming out of the Primavera, and his name wasn't Lautaro Martinez, as he wasn't this captain of Inter, he probably would be dropped at the moment in terms of his form. But of course, as a world-class player that he is, Lautaro, we got to give him the benefit of the doubt, continue playing, especially with Thuram out. And he always performs in terms of his running and hard work. He's always a leader in terms of that. But did he feel like this guy was the most or the second highest paid player in Serie A today? I think the only moment where Inter showed that, you know, we are a superior team was that Zielinski goal, to be honest. Apart from that, not much. This was the Luis Enrique, actually, the only good moment from Luis Enrique, where he crossed it into Bastoni. He probably should do better here. He hits it straight at the goalkeeper. But apart from that, nothing else from Luis Enrique. Man of the match. Yeah, I'll probably give it to Hakan. I was quite happy with Hakan's performance today. But apart from that, not really any standout performance today. Pretty average all round. Not impressed by anyone. But yeah, you guys let me know in the comments down below your thoughts on this game today. Now we go later on to hate watch Roma versus Milan, or Milan versus Roma, hoping for a draw of those both teams. Thank you guys for tuning in. Ciao ragazzi. Always, Forza Inter. Thank you, Frese. Thank you, Frese, for giving us the 3 points today.